Oh, you reckon, do ya?
Potentially.
Oh, you reckon, do ya?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I believe you. I remember.
I remember.
I remember the old way.
Anna, Ben, where is the live stream? It's on now.
Hunting it down as we
Should be
speak.
on.
Yeah, it always seems to be a mystery trying to find it.
Oh, I'm on. Here we are. We're in. Look at that. No spelling mistakes or anything. We're looking good.
Hey,
Great.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
I was going to say, sorry, when you set up the event, you didn't set up as a live video.
Did I not?
No. I was like, it wouldn't let me go live. Why wouldn't you
Yeah,
let
did one of the previous events.
It's very strange. But it wouldn't let me like set up a live video unless I changed it to a live video event. It was quite annoying.
Righto.
Going. People are in.
We had some comments in already. Pretty quick.
Is it showing up? And it shows up in the thing. The thing works. The
It
little
is
chat
showing
box.
up. We've got it all working. We have hi Benjamin Francis from Hannah Louise Cudlip and evening from Marie Kate Taylor. Hello, both of you.
thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you very much. Right, I think we should probably get started. So, news. What news we got? We just had a pretty fun week. A few gigs. Hometown show in Bournemouth with Seeking Benjamin here, and Soulhole was at Madding Crowd last Friday. We'll talk a bit more about that in just a little while. Then we head up to Hastings. Went to Hastings this Sunday and played the Carlisle with Sin City Angels, and we're hoping to get back up there sometime. So if you're watching from Hastings, we'll see you again soon. The show was real fun. Everyone was super friendly. Can't wait to see you all again. So, without further ado, tonight's guest is Seeking Benjamin. How's it going, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Man, it was a
Good.
pleasure playing with you last week. That's not the first time we've actually shared a stage with you. If I remember rightly, we played with you down at the Anvil probably a few months back now on a very
Yeah.
last-minute show, which was
Yeah.
real good fun.
That was good. That was supporting Riders Creed and Black Tree Vultures, which was really good.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
enjoyed
And those
that.
guys were phenomenal.
They were really good. I really enjoyed seeing you guys in the full on Friday night. The Money Crowd was great. The sound was incredible. You guys sounded amazing. I loved it.
Man, they got a lovely rig there. The lights and sound, I think, is really cool there.
Yeah, and that girl doing the photos, she was great.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we've had some photos come through today. I've not had a chance to have a look just yet, but I will be taking a look this evening. Lily has commented and said, "Hey, hello, Lily. Hope you're well."
Hello.
Hi.
So we brought you on because I think really we just get on with you really well. After that first show, unfortunately, I had to go home. But from what I understand, the guys stayed out and you guys had some drinks. Is that right?
Yeah, it was alright. It was
Yeah.
good. We hung out in the bar in the street. It was great. You guys, really helped me out with some contacts and stuff. So yeah, it's great. You guys are good lads. I was thoroughly looking forward to it. When you said, "Oh, do you want to come and play Madding Crowd?" I was like, "Yes, please." So yeah, that was great. Yeah, you
The
guys.
place was such a pleasant surprise, I think, as well. I think a lot more people turned up than what we expected because it was quite last minute, I think, in terms of the announcement. But it was a really supportive crowd there. It was really cool.
It was really good. To be fair, I didn't expect as many people to turn up for me, so I was quite happy because I'm not really from the Bournemouth area originally, so it was a good hour from where I'm normally from, back in my hometown of Gillingham in Dorset, back in the Shire. So yeah, it was great. It was great to have people coming out. So yeah, they ventured out of their hometown, which is unheard of. I think it was mainly to come and see you guys. To be fair, it was who's playing. It was like Soulhole's playing. That's great. Yeah, no, Regional One are playing. I was like, yeah, Regional One are playing. They were like, oh, well, we'll be there. I was like, well, yeah, fantastic. Don't worry about little old me. Like you come down for Regional One. That's fine. So
I think the crowd that night, to be fair, they seemed to enjoy absolutely everyone. It was just a really good evening. I think People were up dancing all night, really, which, we don't actually normally get dancing as much at our shows as normally, mosh pits and headbanging, but a bit of dancing.
Yeah, last time I left one of your guys' shows, I had whiplash for 2 days. So
that's what I like to hear, man.
it was going hard to go home and went hard. So it was nice actually, because I think, to be fair, Soul Hole's the last couple of tracks, those covers that they did, really got them going. That was great.
That was a medley of madness, wasn't it?
It was. Yes, I saw some of you moshing to songs that I've not seen moshed before.
You don't know. But they did a Prodigy cover. You moshed Prodigy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm still I'm an old boy, so I'm like, big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Like that's the style. I was doing the ladder and the whole lasso thing because. Yeah, that's my age. That's not what I am.
I'm sure this wisdom will be parted upon us in time.
Next gig, honestly. Next time I'm out, I've got all the moves. I don't worry, I'll share. It's fine.
I think we need some education after our next show. We'll have to have some more drinks, man.
It's good.
Awesome. Man. So we actually had some questions prepared for you this evening. We're going to go through a few things like your inspirations and what got you into music in the first place. So. Before that, though, we'll start with a few icebreakers where we may know you there. Obviously, others might not. So we'll start with what are 3 artists that you're listening to right now?
3 artists I'm listening to right now. I'm listening to Samuel Jack right now, and hopefully you might be watching tonight. So, hi Sam, how are you? I'm also listening to older stuff. Actually, I've gone back and I'm listening to things like Nick Drake again. He was a great artist around in the 70s, and I'm also listening to the new Blink-182 stuff because that stuff's awesome, and it's nice to see Tom back again.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't had a listen yet. Has anyone else had a listen to that?
But no, I must check it out. Actually,
we're lagging behind here, chaps. We're gonna have to give it.
Maybe, possibly.
Well, I remember them the first time round, so. There's a younger audience going, "Oh, this is like Blink-182," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, they've been around a while, so
Yeah, they've certainly been around the block. I've been in a few function bands, and it's always Blink-182, always.
Yeah.
Guess which song?
Guess which song?
Yeah, which song do you reckon
all
it would
the
be?
Small things. It's gonna be all the
yeah,
small
always,
things.
every time.
Every single time. Yeah.
It's such a crowd pleaser. To be fair, it's fun to play, man. I do like the song.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Awesome. So, guys, just what are you guys listening to this week? Aaron, Callum, you had anything on that's worth checking out?
Not really. Just the sort of Spotify weekly recommended. It's always a go-to. I'm sort of
Nicki Minaj.
I sort of go through stages where I just want to discover stuff, and then stages where I just want to like binge a certain band. I'm sort of in that discovery phase. So I'm finding a few cool tracks and just generally listening to everything I can, really. But what about you, Callum?
I've been solely listening to Linkin Park and Gojira. That's it. That's like all I've been listening to for like a week now, probably 2 weeks.
Every now and then, the Linkin Park train just rolls on into the station.
You
can't get off for a while, can you? It's too good.
It's one of those where I listened to it when I was like 12, and I was like, "Damn, these guys are pretty good." But now I'm older, I just listen to it, and I'm like, "Damn!"
A different level of appreciation.
Yeah, it's completely like, man, the lyrics are like crazy. It's like,
right? Oh man, I've been listening to a bit of Linkin Park. I'm with you. You did this. Chili Peppers as well. The new album's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
not bad at all.
Yeah, Chili Peppers were amazing. I went and saw them up in London this year, and they were incredible. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Well, from what I can remember, they were great. So
was that I'm trying to think, that June or July? I think
it was July.
I saw Green Day with the day before, if I remember right.
Yeah, I went to that one as well.
Oh, same man. that was a weekend of nostalgia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Damn.
I think a month before that, I went and saw My Chemical Romance as well at Milton Keynes.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was just like reliving my youth. And then I think a week or two later, I went and saw Pearl Jam at Hyde Park, and I was just like, I had the best summer. It was incredible. So, yeah, of what I can remember, it was fantastic. So
Yeah,
They're
man. No,
really
it's
good.
some great shows. I'll tell you what. I think for me, Green Day is one of the best performing bands in the world. I think no matter how many shows they've played, they seem to still bring that raw energy every time. It's
Yeah,
unreal.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
insane. I think I went through. I was trying to find a couple of friends of mine. I said I'll just pop off for a drink just before they start playing, and said, "Oh, I'll meet you at the front." And I went through like 6 mosh pits because you do the whole like slingshot thing. So
Yeah.
you just go into the back of the mosh pit and then you sling round to the front. You're like, I can get there. Yeah, I'll see you at the front. I got to the front and watched the whole gig from the front. I was like, I don't know where these guys are, but I was having an amazing time. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm a bit jealous you were front for Green Day. That's a whole other level.
I'm a big guy. It wasn't hard for me to get there.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's awesome, man. So, speaking of sort of bands and nostalgia bands, especially, what was the first album you ever bought or
The
had bought
first
for you?
album I actually bought was Limp Bizkit, which was what was it? Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's a good album. I stuck on track 2. And my parents went, "You're never listening to that in this house again." So they promptly bought me a pair of headphones, and that was how it was played. That was back in the day. We had Walkmans, not iPods, Walkmans. So it's great.
Oh man, we were just coming out of that. I think
Yeah, I had
I
one.
remember having like the little boot sale in the school hall, assembly hall, and you could go around and someone is always selling a Walkman, man.
Yeah.
That
They're
and, like,
retro now. I think they
Pokemon
gave
Red.
quite a bit of money.
They're probably worth something now, maybe. I don't know if that technology aged well or.
I doubt
I mean,
it.
vinyl's back. Why not Walkmans, dude? It's
Exactly it.
doesn't have the same sound. I
It'll
do
be,
love a good vinyl.
yeah, I know. It'll be, it doesn't sound the same on this sort of Walkman. You need this Walkman. It's like, okay, that surpasses me. That's fine. What other questions did you guys have planned for me tonight?
Oh, we've got more, yeah. So what? Actually, let's go straight in with the deep stuff. What actually got you playing guitar, singing? What inspired you to want to do that?
Okay, so from a long time ago, I had an uncle who was in a band, and he was in like a punk rock band, and I grew up listening to him playing. Like I used to sneak up and go outside his practice rooms and listen to him play. And ever since then, I kind of just wanted to play and sing, and he kind of taught me to play guitar, like the real basic stuff. And then I'd grow up like listening to like things like the Yardbirds and the Who and things like that, and the Kinks. And yeah, at the age of like 10, I started guitar lessons, and I was like, cool, let's play this sort of stuff. I didn't last long because at age I think 12 or 13, like Led Zeppelin, I was like, someone literally put on Led Zeppelin for the first time. I was like that was it. I was like, nah, we can't have any of this soft stuff anymore. Like Led Zeppelin's the way it goes. So yeah, no, that's what got me into it. And then went into a band when I was in school, called Discharged, and it's a great name. And
That's a great name. I won't
yeah,
ask you to explain any further.
No, I don't think you need to. I think it explains itself. We did a couple of like Battle of the Bands, and I raised money for the school and stuff before I was kicked out. And then everyone went to like college and university and disappeared. And I was like, oh great, now I have to do this all on my own. And started doing the whole acoustic singer-songwriter thing. And yeah, well, I mean, a good 12 years later, and here I am. So yeah. That's Seeking Benjamin in like a tiny snippet. There you go.
Nice, yeah, man. You got on their own. Oh, he's muted.
He's muted his mic. He always does this.
Whoops! One day I won't do that. I promise.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. Every time. So yeah, one question we have to ask is, how did the name of your act come about? Is there anything in particular, or was it just somebody? Often it's always a strange story behind these sort of things.
Do you know
we
what?
wanted to know, you know.
I've been asked about Seeking Benjamin so many times now, and on every single radio show that I've done, I've always given a different answer, and I've given like the deep, it's about finding myself, and it's about discovering myself musically. And I gave the funny answer of like, I'm a builder, I own a construction company, but I started off like labouring on sites and stuff because obviously I have to have real jobs because my music doesn't pay the way. So yeah, exactly. So buy everyone's merch. Anyone that's watching, go to Regional One, have a look at their merch, go and buy that. Seeking Benjamin, mine's out. Soon, you'll be able to buy it. Here it is. Look, little sneak peek.
I love that logo as well.
It's awesome
Thanks,
stuff.
man.
Great, man. Looks good on the badges as well.
Good. Thank you very much. So yeah, I used to like hide at the top of scaffolding and in toilets and stuff like that because I was a bit work shy. And we're like, where's Ben? So it was always like seeking Benjamin, So I've given that story, but I think realistically, the story of seeking Benjamin will always be a mystery. So
Nice.
He saw it in a dream one night. And
exactly.
yeah.
Amazing. So, obviously, your style with Seeking Benjamin isn't up kind of like in the heavier side of things. What made you want to go sort of down the softer route?
I'll be completely honest. I was just trying to get my name out there and thought I'll go commercial first, see if I can hook a few people in to listen to my stuff, and then later on I'll put out more music. Then go, oh wow, I didn't realize you played this sort of stuff. So there's some heavier stuff to come. I mean, I've written about Marry Me. And there's a Christmas single coming out, which all seems really great, and it's going to be brilliant. But if I read you the lyrics from one of the songs that I've got coming out next year, you guys are going to go, "Wow, this is some deeper stuff." First verse, okay. If you were on fire, I wouldn't spit on you to put you out. My only desire is to watch the flames as we burn down. Those dead cold eyes keep the secrets of the things that you put me through, and this fake smile hides the twisted things that you made me do. So,
Nice.
there's Marry Me, and then there's a whole different side. So,
and that fits right in with listening to Linkin Park lately. I don't know about you, Callum. I'm vibing though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to kind of move on to that. I mean, to be fair, it's also a lot of, I've had a lot of years behind me. I had 10 years where I didn't do anything. I took a break. I had a kid. And I've got a lot of like songs that I kind of wanted to kind of finish off. And for me, recording those songs and getting them out there was a way of kind of drawing a line under them and going, I've done this now, I can put it in the past and I can kind of move on. So that's kind of what I'm doing. But it's exciting for me because no one's heard the songs, realistically. Yeah. I've got a few close friends, and so you put it out there and they go, oh, this is great. And you're like, yeah, that's sort of like 5 years ago. So
it's a good testing ground, though. I think we've been trying a few new songs out lately that we've only played one of them about 3 times in total now. And the reactions, I think, definitely feed what changes we make to those songs anyway, or if we want to reform it in any way. It's a good constant sort of live feedback loop that you can use for before the recordings, to be fair.
Yeah, it's great.
And where is it you're recording? Sorry?
I'm recording at Mill Farm Studios in Bradford Abbas, which is just outside Yeovil, kind of near Sherborne and Dorset, with a guy called Tom Jobling, who is my producer. And he's great. He's incredible. If I say to him, I want to do this, that's great. And I'll go, oh, okay. So we were working a hook the other day. And I was like, I just want it to go, dunna, 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 dunna. And he was like, okay. So he sat there with the guitar and he's just like, and I was like, after 3 or 4 times, he's like, dunna, dunna, dunna. I was like, that's it. You've got it. Brilliant. Fantastic. We're done. Brilliant. Put that in there. That's great. So, working with him is amazing because he just gets me. So, yeah, I honestly, if anyone that needs to record down there, or ever wants to, I thoroughly recommend him. He's great. So.
Awesome, man. And if I'm not mistaken, he was along at the Madden Crowd show on Friday. Yeah?
He was indeed.
Awesome guy, man. And I've heard him sing. That guy sings.
Yeah, he used to be in Black Tree Vultures for a little while. And yeah, the guy can sing. He's now in a band called Sidechain. And actually, yesterday they released their second single called Poison. So Tom, if you're watching, there's my shout out for you.
Yeah. Look out, Sidechain Poison.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so they're really good. Yeah, I highly recommend him.
Awesome, man. I'm just going to quickly write that down so I don't forget. There we go. Great stuff. So, in terms of your live act, you say you're writing some heavier stuff. Are you planning to, bring a band in on that? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's been easier for me to kind of play on my own, to get acts and to get myself established. It's been easier for me to go, I'll go out and play it. But I think by the time it gets to the middle of next year and the EP comes out in it's March. It'll be expanding, and it'll probably be a 4-piece band that, you know, it'll be me supported by a drummer, bassist, and another guitar. So I think that's the way forward for me. You know, and then I'll probably do just the off the cuff couple of acoustic gigs where it'll just be me. So, you know, it'd be nice to do that little bit of variety. You know, if I have the same year next year as I've had this year, then it's going to go very well. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, man, that's great. And you're gigging quite a bit at the moment, aren't you? Where do you sort of tend to play? Have you got any sort of local haunts?
To be fair, I'm everywhere around Dorset at the moment, which is great. You know, being local, you kind of start in Dorset and then expand out.
Yes.
But because I'm releasing this Christmas song that comes out on the 18th of November, Friday the 18th of November, Santa leaves something for me. Just going to plug that in there now. I'm doing a couple of Christmas things. I'm doing like a couple of light switch-ons. I'm doing the Gillingham light switch-on, which I'll be playing at. I'm playing at a cafe down in Abbotsbury, which I built as a doing the construction thing. I've been offered to play a couple of other pub gigs in Dorset. So yeah, there'll be loads of stuff coming up on the website. You can look on the events page and things to find out where I'm playing. But it's great. I mean, I'm always getting inquiries at the moment, and I think that's always a great feeling. You know, when people are still knocking on the door, going, "Can you do this?" You know, I feel panicky if someone stops after a week and goes, "I've not had an inquiry." I'm like, "Come on, come on!" So
Damn right, yeah, you got to keep on it. I think
it sort of helps build momentum. What you've sort of found, like we've obviously had patches where we have lots of gigs and less gigs and stuff, but the gigs do tend to roll into more gigs, and that's how really silly. But you sort of get on this roll of just continually like the first show we played with yourself. Obviously, we played the previous day. And they literally asked us to play again. So, you know, it really does produce its own sort of shows.
that was a pretty wild one, that as well. We were going up for Rock Against Cancer in the street, and we had a last minute message seeing if we were free on the Friday night to play a show in, where was it, Bridgewater, at the Cobblestones, and that was from the guys headlining, and we said, yeah, we should be able to squeeze that in. So we packed our tents and off we went. And so we like to camp when we tour because it's cheaper and the chickens are friendly. And Aaron likes to look for the ISS a lot.
Yeah,
like
if
a
you're
lot.
with me and it's dark, the stars are, I'll point it out for anybody.
Every other star is the ISS. But yeah, so then we played that show with them on the Friday night, and they said, "Oh, it's a shame you guys aren't about tomorrow. It's a shame you've already got a show." I was like, "We have a show tomorrow, yeah, in the afternoon." And he goes, "Are you free in the evening?" Depends where. And he said Bournemouth, and we were like, "Okay, the stars have aligned on this one. We kind of have to do that." We ended up playing 3 shows in 24 hours for that one.
It's the same. I know. I remember because I did a Friday night. I did a Wooders World Weekend Festival like in Bear Regis, which was
nice.
A new festival just started, and then Saturday afternoon I actually played at an event at Mill Farm Studios that they do at the end of summer festival, playing with one of the guys that was in the Yardbirds and some other really great bands. And then I was like, cool. Then like literally finished my set. I couldn't even stay to watch the guys. I was like, right, head down to Bournemouth and do the Anvil. So yeah, like I know, because like it's crazy. You just go, yes, I'll do it, and then you just find a way.
That's rock and roll, man. That's the grind. You got to do it.
Exactly.
It's like grinding for XP.
Yeah.
Except first, think about the logistics later. That's the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except like a dead man that night. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I went home. I really wanted to stay out, but I think I made the right decision going home in the end. But what we do need to do is have a proper night out with you after a show, I think.
Yeah,
And something we try and do actually when we do have shows, when we put on our headline shows especially, we try and get all the bands to stay out and get drunk with the fans so that we can all sort of get to know each other and build proper relationships and a proper community around it. And alcohol just seems to be a really good catalyst for that. Who knew? I'll just catch up on a few comments real quick, actually, because we've had a few come in. Marie says, "Ben, you rock it." And I think I agree with that. With regards to Green Day, Hannah said you barely spent any of the weekend with them.
One mosh pit to another. I mean, what can you do?
And look, if you get to the front, they're on their own, man.
Exactly it.
Work on it.
Yeah.
waves of the
Marisa,
mosh pit tend to just take you. Don't they? Obviously, when
exactly,
it
they
goes-
really do.
Yeah.
Gotta follow the tide, surf your way up, right?
Oh yeah.
What they say, if you get in one swim horizontally, not vertically.
Yeah. Marie said, when Regional One's been banned from my mum's house because of her daughter. I think that's a compliment. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that's a good thing in a way. It is. I think there's a truth to be said that a lot of music that does get banned actually ends up doing better. Like, I don't know if you know about the explicit label thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started becoming a marketing technique. Just get it on your album because it would just sell a lot more copies. Swear once
amazing.
on your whole album, you'll make twice the amount of money.
You know what? I wrote a song, and like we passed the watershed, like I can sign it there, something like that. Near enough, close enough. So I wrote lyrics for a song, and my son like is like listening to it. I've been in the studio all last week doing it, like recording stuff for the EP. The song's basically about rekindling this nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
And the song goes, we would talk, we would drink, and the unexplicit version is we would dance all night. So the real version was we talk, we drink, and we fuck all night. And turns out you can't play that in front of a 9-year-old child because they will repeat that stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
So yeah, my PR agent went, "You're gonna have to change that if you're putting it on radio." I was like, "Yeah, I can." So there'll be 2 versions. So you know,
we had a similar issue. Most of our songs are pretty clean, actually. As much as we go for like a hard sound, there's not too much swearing other than some of the more fuck songs, I guess. But the one that actually on our debut EP, there's only one swear word on the whole EP, and it's in our softest song, which is a rock ballad. It's in our song Chosen. We say, "I know when I've fucked up," and but yeah, that's the only swear word on that whole EP. And but it's kind of like the most radio ready song as well. So we had a real struggle with that.
I noticed it as well when we played Hastings. You didn't say that because there were kids there, and you said fudged.
Oh, I pulled my mouth away from.
Yeah, that was it. No, yeah, you did that. Yeah, I saw it, and I was like laughing.
Man, they did it at
You're like,
we played a show in. Yeah, man, like, come on. You see those kids? They were like prime age to just say it exactly back to their parents. Like, sometimes you got to play these family-friendly shows. We did Ilfracombe Sandpiper, and about 2 minutes before we went on, and I swear a lot, but just about 2 minutes before we went on, the agent, the guy John, he said to me, "You got to keep this one clean, all right? Because there's families here and stuff, And I was like, oh, right, I'll try." And and I think his missus came up to me at the end and said, "I noticed you didn't swear in Chosen." It would have been fine if you did. I was just like, "Oh, mixed messages, man."
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so to play it safe, I just pull the mic out of the way and say "fucked" anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
They can't hear
it.
it.
Like you say, Chosen's like the most radio. I think Soul's great. Like honestly, like that song's constantly popping up on my Spotify now. It's just like, oh, here it is again. This is great.
Cheers.
So, yeah, that's great. It's fantastic. It's the one that everyone goes, "Oh, like who are Regional One?" And I'm like, I'm trying to explain to you guys like who you are. I'll go listen to this track because it's the kind of one that I think everybody, a lot of people kind of jumped on that one, didn't they, for you guys, which was great. So that's the one I'm like, listen to that. So that's what you want to know. That's all you need to know. Listen to that one song. Go to their gig.
Man, thanks. Yeah, you know what? I think Solder is probably one of the ones that encapsulates our sound quite well, actually, and kind of the themes and everything. Everything came together on Sold really well. I think we want those bouncy riffs. We want those sort of dancey, headbangy moments, but we also want those really kind of melodic choruses that you can sing along to. So I think that one, dead proud of that. I mean, proud of all the songs, obviously, and but it is like choosing a favorite child. But this one's my favorite. With exception to some of the new ones that we've got coming, but we won't talk about that too much just yet.
They do.
They hit hard. I get emotional for a few of the new tracks, man. I'm like on stage, like, oh.
I think that's great though. Like honestly, as someone who like as a vocalist that sings my own songs and stuff, you write things and I think if you're still singing that song and it hits you emotionally, I think the crowd gets hit emotionally sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, if they can
Definitely.
see that you're choking up on a song because you've written and it's really, yeah, I don't think it even matters if you get the wrong chord and that they get the feeling, you know. And playing live, you know, it's prone to making a few mistakes. If you're singing something from the heart, and the crowd are behind it, it's great. They just go with it, you know.
Man, yeah.
Which
There's
is
no
great.
feeling like that.
Now I get
No
people
feeling like
crying
that.
now playing my songs, which I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, Hannah in particular, like I wrote one of my songs and she started bursting out crying. I was like, "This mean it's good? Should I play this, or is this the feeling I want when people come to see me play?" I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think so. I think something genuine, something real. If you can touch on that and you can sort of project that through sound and through a performance, I think that's what makes a performance special. I think that's what will make people come back again and again because they want to replicate that. They want to feel that again. They want to, and not only that, it's not just them feeling it on their own. They're feeling it in this like body of people, which is a strange concept in the modern day. I think probably like 1,000 years ago, that was a normal thing to do. Like, you know, but drumming circles and things.
This is it. I mean, I think now because a lot of people are more isolated and they will listen to music through their earpods or AirPods or whatever, and they listen to it on their own. Actually, going to a gig is still a way to experience music together, which is why, you know, even though live music over the last couple of years has really been hit hard, I think it's important that we get this scene going again. And Friday night playing with you guys in London Crowd, honestly, I felt like this is brilliant. We're on our way back again. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what we 100%. All need.
And you know what? I want to give a shout out to Soulhole as well because those guys were absolutely brilliant. They were fantastic live and they were lovely guys. And I think we need to get them on here at some point because they were real good fun. And we're noticing this more and more at shows lately. Bands seem to be supporting each other. Artists are really supportive of each other. And that I think that reflects really well on everyone. And it brings people into the coven, you know, it brings the crowd in. Everyone wants to be a part of something that feels that good. So if the artists are up there, hopefully making an example of it by, you know, actually being nice to each other, talking to each other, turning up for each other, hopefully more and more people will want to get on board with that and just and build this community from the bottom up almost.
I agree. And to be fair, as a great example of that venue, again, I keep mentioning them, but the way we were treated when we went and played the Running Crowd was phenomenal, you know, and I feel like they had so much respect for us as artists, which was great. You know, they wanted to keep us happy. I mean, they provided food and drink, which is always great.
We were wined and dined, mate.
We loved that. But, you know, they were just so helpful and so friendly. And, you know, nothing was a bother. And that's great. And if people can... If more venues were like that, the world would be a much better place. And I think I did a sort of a thank you post the other day kind of saying that because, you know, I really do feel that those guys just gave us that extra little bit and they went the extra mile. And, you know, it was definitely appreciated by everybody,
I think a big part of it as well. I don't think people realize how much it helps to make the artists feel comfortable as well. Just like it felt really homely coming in. They'd cooked us some food. We could chill out and, you know, we had a bit of our own space. So obviously we didn't spend all the, you know, the whole time up there because you want to actually go out and hang out with the people that come up and see your shows. But also it was nice. Sometimes you need it. Like you come off stage, you want to speak to people, but you're so sweaty and I get this a lot. I'm so surprised people want to come up and like give you a hug. I'm like, these people are brave. I wouldn't hug me in this state.
I know. I got off. I only played a half an hour set. You guys did longer than me, and I was drenched. I was just like, you want to give me a hug? You're like, I wouldn't. Just stand back. I'll be back. Let me freshen up. I'll come back down. Like, oh man. So
yeah, really enjoyed it. So again, massive shout out to Madden Crowd. You make a great point there. You guys were so homely, so welcoming, and you know what? That makes the performance better. We go on feeling, you know, you go on stage feeling welcome already. You're just gonna have a good show. Like, not to mention the sound was great, the lights were great, everything was just super tight. So I'm hoping to see Madden Crowd do a lot more. Well, just a lot more in general over the next few years. I hope they do really well. They deserve it.
Yeah, they've got this new sound, like the Atmos sound thing they're doing at the moment. So, you know, if they can be the forefront of that, I think they've got it in their pocket. So, you know, I guess it's for them. It's a watch this space. So
they've definitely got some things coming. So yeah. People, if you're out there are free gigs. free gigs on Fridays at Madden Crowd a lot right now. So just get down there, man. Just enjoy yourselves. It's free. Why wouldn't you? It's cheaper than your bloody electricity bills, isn't it?
Exactly it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just catch up on a few comments real quick. So, where are we? Yeah, so Marie said, don't know how you got that stuff in the car, to be honest. I think that was in relation to our little mini
Camping, I
tour.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of gear. So when we do our like tour dates and whatnot, we do our best to get in one car because obviously it's half the price. And honestly, I like having the band in one place. We can all chat shit. We actually spend a lot of time in our drives watching stand-up comedy just on the drive up. It's really good, just on someone's phone. It's just there, connecting on the Bluetooth speaker. I think it's good to bond that way. But yeah, in that instance, we had pretty much, I think, all of our support gear and a cab. So to put it in perspective, a seat is folded down. Stevie's in the middle of the car with his belt on. Callum's to the left of him with his belt. Aaron's in the front. They've all got amps stacked on their laps
and stuff between our legs. There's
And they're
guitars
just
just everywhere.
Yeah, they couldn't move if they tried. They've probably just about got a peephole so they can see the Joe Rogan or whatever we're watching.
You know when you see a car that's like definitely going to do selling at a car boot sale.
Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah. So yeah, we somehow do get it all in. No idea how. I had a comment from Chris Metcalf. Regional 1, you were awesome when I saw you in Bridgewater. Thank you very much, Chris. You ever coming up to Gloucester Guildhall anytime? This Aussie would love to catch you again. I remember.
I remember.
I believe the hat. Do you remember the hat at Bridgewater at the Cobblestones? The guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's the chap.
I
So
think.
he did mention to us Gloucester Guildhall. I've written that down somewhere. It's on our hit list.
Then I've got a hard time visualizing him.
Yeah. Gloucester Guildhall's a big venue.
It's for O2, isn't it? If it's Guildhall.
It may well be. Oh, actually, hey, that looks pretty doable. We'll have to find out some more details. But Chris, we're gonna endeavour to do our best. We're planning some tours for next year.
That's the way to look at it. Anything is doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah, like any venue. Yeah, it's fine. We know a guy that can support as well. So you can Benjamin, he'll do it. That's fine.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we were we've got some ideas underway for next year. We don't know if and when or what, but we're looking at getting a bunch of the artists we get on these live streams and that we've played with. We want to put something on with everyone. We have no idea how or why, or well, we know why, but not what. Yeah, we're not sure why we like you guys. No, yeah, I think something will come of that. So keep in touch on that one. Just a few more comments coming in. So we got Hannah says, Sold is a sick song. Love that one. Thank you, Hannah. And thank you very much for those photos. They are fantastic. I've managed to have it up on another screen while we've been chatting. Jacob gives us the wave. And I believe Hannah's replying to Jacob there, so I'll leave that one be. But thank you very much all for commenting. Please do carry on. Please do join in. That's what it's all about. Just a quick one for you, Ben. Christmas single, 18th of November, was it?
Yeah, 18th of November, yeah.
Nice one. So I'm just going to put a timestamp comment in there. People check out the Christmas single on the 18th of November.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Back to it, yeah. So we've got a few more questions for you. One of them being, have you had any sort of moments that have really stood out to you when you played on stage?
I have, yeah. One of them, I played a little gig. It was in Shaftesbury in Dorset, and bearing in mind, I played quite a few little pub gigs, and everybody kind of watches you, and they're sort of sat back having a few beers, and whether or not they're paying attention is always kind of, you know, here or there. And I played this little place in Shaftesbury, and with a couple of other artists. Actually, one of them who played Manning Crowd last week. Richard Atkins and the New Billionaires, and so I played this little gig. Everybody was quiet, and I mean dead silent. It was like a library. And I finished playing the first song, and it was like this just wave of like applause just like hit me, and I was like, wow, you know, there must have been I don't know, maximum of probably about 100 people there. But when everybody is intently listening to you, to every single word, it just kind of makes everything so magical. Yeah, and the weirdest thing of that gig was that I actually had an old primary school friend who I hadn't seen for 20 years. And he was there. And it was just like, I knew you could sing. And I was like, cheers, man. Thanks very much. That's great. So yeah, that really stuck out in my mind. It's just one of those special moments where, you know, everybody hangs on your every word. And it's just like, yeah, it feels amazing. And then recently I played my own hometown in Gillingham, and it's the first time I've only been gigging a year. So since September 2021, you know, I started my first gig, came back onto the scene, and it was that I played one of my songs, and the guys and my friends were in the audience, and there was other people there, and they started singing my own song back to me, and I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
this is why we do it, you know?
Yeah, man.
So yeah, you know, and every word. I could have shut up and they could have sang the song for me. That's how incredible it was. And I was just like, yeah. So yeah, those are the
That's
two
awesome,
which
man.
really.
I
So,
think
yeah.
that kind of moment's really magic. We started getting that a little bit more recently now that people are becoming familiar with it all. If I've had dreams about that, so pretty weird, trippy dreams, you know. So yeah, I get what you mean there. I think it's one of those moments where for some reason we all want to make the same vibrations at the
Yeah.
same time, and it I don't know if it's something like tribal and human about it. It just feels really good. I don't know what it is. Speaking of dreams, Callum,
Huh?
tell us about that dream you had the other day. You were going to bring this one up.
Was I?
Yeah, this one. So
That
we were
was
talking
weird.
about tours the other day, and Callum was like, "Oh, I had a dream about tour the other day."
Well, I had a dream where we won a competition and to go on tour with this band, but they were like a Viking band, and they kept up the Viking image. And when they go on tour, the only way they travel is by a giant ship, like an old wooden ship, and we had to like sail all the way to New York, like on this ship. And but for some reason, as part of the like initiation, we had to like park the boat in New York City for some reason. I have no idea why. But that's all I can remember
That's
from the
amazing.
dream. I think is
I can't wait for that tour.
If there
We'll leave you
wasn't-
with that thought.
If there wasn't a sea shanty involved, like
I
oh,
have no
God.
idea.
It was called Sea Shanty 2.
Tease. Can you imagine?
If you know, you know.
We'll just sang Hailstorm across the Atlantic. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't Elstorm, and it wasn't like Amon Amarth or
Yeah.
something. It was so weird. It was just some unnamed Viking band.
Were they a band first or Vikings first?
I don't know.
Man, I
do
do
not
think
know.
we need that to be a bit. We get like a good once a week. Callum will be like, "I had this dream the other day." I look forward to it every time. Like, well, we had a real. I don't know if people out there have this, but we've been discussing aphantasia,
Oh,
which has messed with everyone this last few weeks.
Yeah.
Callum, do you want to explain it? Because you're the victim.
it's where you can't visualize things in your head like at all. I don't know how to,
Yeah.
It's so hard to describe. Like when you like close your eyes and like think of an apple and you can like see an apple or whatever. Like I can't see an apple. Or
That sounds
So we-
bad.
But
yeah.
you can still have visual dreams, which is
Yeah.
So you
That's-
think in descriptions, not in.
But here's where it gets weird. Like, do I
Right?
see the dream? Because like, I don't see memories the same either. It's like, or do I just remember having the dream? And did I ever dream?
Right. Anyway,
But could you not just remember an apple?
Yeah, but
can't see it.
can't see it.
Yeah, no, but what?
But I
if,
know
you
what an apple looks like.
If you could remember a moment that you were eating an apple, like, oh yeah, I remember eating an apple, and then would you
Yeah.
be able to see the apple? You know,
No.
terrible.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, not even a hint.
Apparently, it affects like 2% of the population or something. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. I still read books.
Yeah, that must be a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's just words.
I'm at the other end of the spectrum where I over visualize things. Like really, when me and Stevie write songs, we talk about this quite a lot. We both have this very like overstimulated visual representation in our head of what the song will look like as a video or what it should look like on stage while the song's being written. So when it comes to writing a song with Callum, because it's crazy, right? We can still communicate the same ideas, no problem. But we're coming from completely different ends of the spectrum when it comes to the song.
I can't even see stage left. That means nothing to me. Which way is stage left? Yeah, but is it? I always forget if it's when you're on the stage. Is it
the audience? It's your left.
Yeah, see, it's not S. No.
It's audience. Left, if it helps. Nice. Aaron, you got some questions lined
Yes,
up,
let's get back on track, shall we, gentlemen? Right, so obviously you've got a number of songs, you've got your set list together now. Would you say there's any particular part of a song that you just get to every time you just love playing it, whether it be vocally or on the guitar, or just the absolute highlight of your set list for you?
I mean, I played this one song which is quite a personal song, and it's called Trust Me Now, and I don't know if you guys remember me playing it on Friday night, but I can get to that point, and I've never written an ending to that song. I've done that on purpose because
that's cool.
I kind of get to that point, and it's so emotive. It's a song like it's writing about my father, it's writing about my mother, like it's writing about my sister and my family and stuff, and it says brothers, and that's actually about the guys that my friends, like you guys, as a band you probably call each other brothers and stuff like that because you're so close, and it's about that. And so I get to the end of the song, and I've never written the ending because it just depends on how I'm feeling at the end of that song. So I know the chord progression, I know how it's supposed to go down, but it gives me that moment of vocal expression where you can either go like really nuts, or if the crowd aren't feeling it, you just go, and that's done. It's like
that's cool, man. That makes every show
really like
kind
that,
of personal, doesn't it? Yeah,
exactly.
Touch to every show then.
So I play that one, and people, and people go, yeah, and people that know me, especially when friends or family come out, they'll go, I really get these lyrics, and I really understand what it's about. I've made family members cry, which is it's a good thing. I mean, I've made my sister cry plenty of times, but that's not for music. It's just like twin sister. Like, she's not tiny. Like, she's a fighter. So it's just yeah. No, it's good, and it's just one of those songs that I'll never ever finish writing because I know that I want to get to that point in that song where I can either let loose or I can let it just fade out, and that's it. So yeah, I do enjoy playing that one, and it's probably one that I'll never record either, which is cool, great. Man. So you'll only ever hear it live, which is I think great.
That's really great, man.
Unique, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. A great question, thank you.
I think
that's probably one of the best answers we've had to that one. You'll have a lot of different instrumentalists on, and we'll talk about there's particular solos that are just really, really fun to play. But that's different every time. That's pretty cool. I really like that.
It loops on. I'm trying to coming off with what you were saying. Do you prefer writing songs or performing them? What do you get the most enjoyment from?
For me, it's kind of writing. Although, like, I don't know who's watching. Like, I probably do it pretty illegally. I write all the time when I'm driving. I drive a lot. Being a builder, I don't actually work on sites anymore. Like, I wish I did. Like, I manage a load of different places. So I drive from place to place to place, and I'll have an idea in my head and I'll write it. And I explained this to a guy called Nick Angus the other day, radio presenter of Abbey Radio in Sherborne, and I'll have an idea, and it will kind of just come over me, and I'll go, right, I need to write this down now. Some people go, how long does it take you to write a song? And some will take weeks because you'll have the idea of like the verse and stuff like that, and you go, I just need to come back to this. But some you're just so engrossed with that you're like, I need to write this. And then when I get that feeling and I have the feeling of the lyrics coming out, it's kind of like, it's just like, bleh. That's the only way I can describe it. And it's just like, it comes out, and I enjoy that feeling. And you get to the end of the song, you go, I've written that, and you read it back and you're like, this is amazing. And I have that emotional feeling, I suppose, once I finish writing that song. And it's only when you then play that live and other people are affected emotionally by that song that it really gives itself another meaning again.
Yeah.
Because
Brings on its own life then, doesn't it, I think?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it gave you meaning because it had something personal to yourself when you wrote it, but then someone else will take that song and they'll take it into their own life and it will make sense to them, and they sing it for different reasons, and that's great. Or they'll go, Ben, you know, I love this song, and you know, I've had people message me going, oh, when's this song coming out? When can I hear this one? And you're like, that's great. And you're like, you know, I always ask why. And it's great. And they were just like, you know, because that song made me feel a certain feeling, and that's what I want, you know. And as musicians, you guys know, you know, you want people to feel those feelings, whether it's a good feeling, a happy feeling, or you want them to like bob their heads or whatever it is. You're like master puppeteers. Like, come on,
man.
That's
it.
Like,
I can't remember who it was I heard say this, but it was something along the lines of it's a musician's job to manipulate waves in the air and make you feel things you didn't know you could feel.
Yeah.
I thought that was completely
like a wizard now.
conceptualized. Brilliant. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, puppeteers, perfect way of saying that. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So, and I was sticking with the theme of obviously writing and everything. Is sort of how do you tend to approach your writing stage? Do you more so go for, oh, I've got this cool like chord progression that I want to work around, or you just dive straight in with the lyrics? Would you say
90% of the time it's the lyrics first. I could be listening to something or be feeling something. So I might have had a bad day or a good day or feeling something, and I'll just have like a little, it might be just 2 lines in my head. And then I'll chase those 2 lines to the end of the rabbit hole. And go, okay, we're here now. And then I'll sit back with the guitar and I'll go, this riff works, this one doesn't, something. I mean, that's why rarely, I mean, being a solo musician and playing acoustically, it's all about the chords for me, and you end up just playing stuff. Now, this transition to the next year where I play with other people is where I've got to go, actually, what's going to be the hook for this, and what's going to be this bit? And there's a lot more involvement in being a band than there is a solo musician, as you guys fully well know.
There's a lot more push and pull between the instruments because you've got to kind of make room for all these different parts to shine at different points. So if your guitar is going to be layering up and thickening up the mix a bit, what you might have is the opportunity for the vocals to really shine, or you might then just stop and cut out and let the drums take over for a minute. And we do that as a little bit in a few songs, don't we? I think, Aaron, you've got some specifically, I think, quite cool fills in Control. It's like a 2-bar solo almost, where everyone drops out and it's just the drums going a bit haywire, and then the chorus kicks in. Or Smoke It Away, there's that. It's a really simple drum fill, but it's kind of we wanted to feel a bit iconic. It's a little bit like an 80s feel where it's just like big flams, big hitting the drum hard basically, but it lets the audience know, hey, the chorus is coming now. That's your indicator. Get ready to sing along. You know?
I know. I've just done those, and drums as well. Like, I'm not a percussionist. Like, playing drums it's like speaking a foreign language. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. So you're doing an amazing job, and like I can only describe it. So that when I'm producing a song now, like, and I'm trying to describe it, I'm like, I want it to feel like this, and I want to kind of quieten it down a little bit. And there's a pre-chorus to a song that used to be called Happy, which actually you guys heard Friday night. And it's really strange that you guys heard that song that way, because that song, when it's released, it's nothing like that song. It was nothing like that song. So
you gotta believe me.
And Hannah, if you're still watching, I apologize because I know you love that song. But she's heard the remix of it, and she was like, I like it, but it's not the same. So this, honestly, the pre-chorus bit where you get into the drums, there's like a real Nirvana-esque. All I can describe it is just like the boom boom, and then I've even got the overdriven guitar going, you know, like, because I'm just like, you take stuff from music that you know and that you love, and you go, this is how I want it to feel. And I was like, what song do I want it to feel like, and what gave me that feeling? And I was like, that's what I want it to feel like. Luckily, I had a really great drummer that came in session for me, and I was like, can you play and he went, I think I know what you mean. So
you speak drums, look. Me and Aaron have entire conversations exactly like that. Yeah.
Right there. instead, you know. Yeah.
Those Puntagattas, yeah. Man, yeah, that's a lot of our conversations, isn't it?
So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, man, I think it's really cool. You seem to have a similar sort of process where songs, it's not necessarily like you're building a song. It sometimes feels like you're kind of pulling it down from nowhere, kind of pulling it out of the ether, and then you're kind of taking that and nursing it into something bigger. Yeah, I think it sounds like that there's a lot of people who think that way. There are the sort of construction style songwriters. They tend to write prog. I think it's just an incredibly practical approach, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly it. You know, and I'm no way mathematical. Like, you know, working out how this goes here, this goes here. I vaguely go that it goes beginning, middle, end. That's it. You know, we need to get from A to B, and how you get there, really, you know, that's anybody's guess.
Yeah, man. We've only got a few more for you, but we'll start with this one because it's completely different direction. What kind of hobbies do you have outside of music, if any?
Hobbies outside music. Not a lot. I mean, I spend that time with my son, which is great. You know, he's 9. He actually co-wrote the Christmas song. So when you're like, oh, you know, this sounds pretty cool, and I'm like, yeah, you know, he was 8 years old. He's now 9. He'll be 10 mid-February. We spend time doing that. Sitting back, you know, it used to be doing things like playing Call of Duty and you know, a bit of Xbox and whatever else. Recently, because he's coming to that age, I've had to sort of put Call of Duty down and play Fortnite, which is, you know, turns out I'm just amazing at Fortnite. You know, it's okay.
I feel for you, buddy. I know.
So yeah, you know, I do that, but really, I mean, over the last year, I can't say I've had a hobby. I have just been busy, and I know it's really, you know, I say sad, but I enjoy it, and I've just been working hard at pushing my music. You know, and people say you need to take a break, and I'm just like, I can't, because it's what makes me feel good, and you know, you just push. I'm the person that gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and instead of checking their alarm, I'm checking my emails to go, have I had any radio plays today, or like, you know, and just checking the website and just making sure everything's up to date. So, you know, my music is my hobby, and it was my hobby, and if I can make it my career, maybe I'll have to find another hobby. So
yeah, right. Yeah, dude, that's the dream, I think, and it's becoming kind of increasingly practical. I think, you know, you build your way up, you start getting paid for a few shows, you start off with a bit of cash, but I think when you start getting more demand, and that's before you even look at, you know, royalties are nothing nowadays anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's before all your publishing side of things. That's before, you know, you're paying on a tour or whatever. So keep at it, man. Like, you've got the voice for it, dude. You've got the real voice for it.
Thanks very much. Honestly, like, you know, I know the compliments that you guys have given me, and I love the compliments that Soulhole gave me as well on Friday night, and to be fair, and even the venue, and it kind of makes me feel a validation of why I do it, because you can speak to everybody else and they go, yeah, no, it's really great and you're good, but when you come up to, like, you know, professionals like you guys, and you guys are giving me, you know, your opinion and going, stick at it, man. That's, you know, that means a lot more, you know.
Gotta stick at it, man. Yeah. Honestly, something like, it's high 90s % of musicians that give up before they've even had a possibility of making money at it if they wanted to. So don't be one of them. Keep at it.
Exactly. Well, I think, to be fair, you know, hitting the music again, it's like hard, later, man. For me, I had a 10-year break, and it was kind of like, I always knew that music was in me. And by having that break, it was like reaffirming to me, going, you need to do this, you want to do this. And like, it was going, you've got to go back and do it. And that's why you just push as hard as you can, which is great. Yeah, you know,
100%. You know what? I've I had a similar conversation with a guy recently. Did you ever see a band called Sansara floating about?
I heard the name Sansara. I never get to see them play live. What were they like? What were they?
Really good. Really good. They were kind of like hard rock into the sort of heavy metal territory. And they were smashing it. Like when I was early teens, they were like the big thing in Bournemouth. And then they just disappeared. But I got in contact with a friend of the singer, and he's been thinking about getting into it, and we're hoping to get him on a show at some point. So if anyone out there is even thinking about it, do it, man. Get in touch with someone. Just put something together. If it's 20 minutes of covers, whatever. Just get in touch with another band. Get in touch with a venue, whoever. Get on it. Yeah, look, yeah. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Just do it today. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always like to think that, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, music's my release. I love listening to music." Well, why not make music your release as an artist as well? You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think also there's a whole other intensity to it when you're performing to a crowd, as we sort of touched on this evening. It's a different experience altogether. Like, it's one thing singing in the shower, but when you're on stage and all your nerves are going ape shit, and it's crazy, man. I don't know about you. I still get nervous before every show for like 5 minutes, and then we get halfway through Control or whatever song we're opening with, and I'm like, right, I remember now. I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the same for me. I honestly, like, I know I played "Marry Me" as my first one on Friday night. So I was just like, let's get people into something they might be familiar with if they've heard it, if ever heard. Because like people that came out Friday night are going to go, I can Google this guy, and what's the one song I've heard? Oh wait, it's this one. So that's fine, you know. So I thought I'd start with that one, and I got through. Not that you guys noticed, because obviously I was a pro, but like I think it was into the third verse. And I missed the chord and I went to a different chord. No one noticed. I noticed, you know, or people I asked, they went, you know, actually, I don't know. Actually, there was a couple that were eating wine or drinking wine and cheese.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so jealous. I was like, oh, you guys have got such a great platter. Like, I'll come and join you.
I haven't had wine and cheese in like 4 years. All right.
And I think he went, that's not how it's supposed to go. And I was like, I kind of felt like, I was just like, I was impressed you've listened to my song. Thank you very much.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they know that well. Fair dues. Yeah, that's what you want.
So yeah, no, it's great. I think, you know, I do get nervous. I think it's just one of those things. The bigger the gigs get,
the more healthy though. I think it's so
it
healthy.
Is healthy.
You need some nerves. It pushes you to do better.
Yeah, it does. And you know, I've been a slightly anxious person for the last 10 years, and it's what stopped me from being a musician. And as I got older, I kind of cared a little bit less. That's what gave me the nerve to get back up and start again. But when I started playing, I was like, oh God. Like, you know, everyone sees us on stage. Frontmen, like, especially, you know, you go on, you act with this confidence, go, oh man, you smashed that, you've got great confidence, and you're like, inside I'm shaking like a leaf, like, you know.
Happens, man. It happens every time.
Exactly.
I think there's something to be said for the kind of effect that being on stage has as well. I don't know about you. I'm in a character when I'm on stage. I'm not the same person on stage as I am off stage. I try and make sure it's like an exaggerated version of myself. So there's still like a core root of my personality in there, but it's exaggerated and it's more dramatic. And I think, it's so much fun to be able to explore that as well. Like, just as a human being, just exploring these crazy ideas in your head. You're like, what if I did this one day? And you got this avenue to actually do it. It's,
I think that's exactly it. It's kind of that creativeness that kind of goes, if I can become this person, you know, if I called myself Ben Francis instead of Seeking Benjamin, I'd probably be half as adventurous as I am, because I'd go, well, Benjamin Francis is just me as a person. Seeking Benjamin, well, that could be bloody anybody. So, you know, I'm just like, explore it, do whatever. You know, no one's expecting anything of you. You know, if you go out to a gig and you do something different, it either works or it doesn't. But then you've got the next gig, and it's just like, okay, cool. You know, try it. I mean, you know, let's face it, David Bowie had so many personalities. It was unreal, you know. And
yeah, man, yeah,
that's great.
It's all part of the art as well. I think I don't know about you again, but we're trying to create like a few of the concepts we explore in songwriting, for example. They're kind of a bit adventurous, you know. They're a bit like conceptual. We look into sort of dystopian futures and things like that, and write around these concepts and trying to build that into our music videos and all sorts. But I really think since we started leaning into that more, we've done a lot better on stage, because people see it as that thing. So for our song Bedlam, I go a bit crazy on stage because it makes sense for the song. It's about a guy, you know, having a breakdown in an asylum because he's murdered his wife. Maybe he doesn't know. So I think it makes sense on stage to look that part, and I think then it just becomes embodying the songs you've written, which in essence they become again, when I say they take on their own life when you perform to an audience, I think that's a big part of it, is that actually I'm now channeling myself into that song that we may have created but now is its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think it makes a performance. It
I
allows
know.
us to just do what we want a bit more.
Like going back to Friday night, what was one of the things I said to you? I said like, all right, I knew once the makeup was on, I was like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got this personality that's kind of stood back, and we were just hanging out as like as friends and stuff. And then you put the makeup on, and I was like, he's ready. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that
man.
person's there, you know, and you just go, I'm in now, and that's it.
It's kind of actually it wasn't originally I didn't used to do it, but it's kind of become a little bit of a ritual for me, is that when I do put the makeup on, that's right, stage time, you know.
Yeah,
It's like I'm in band mode now. Before that I'll hang out with friends and family and all that kind of stuff. As soon as that eyeliner goes on and I put the tears on, that's like, okay, right, I'm a vessel for the music now. I'm a vessel for this stage and for what we're about to do. And I hope it doesn't come across rude, but I don't really speak to people as much after that. I don't ignore them. I just don't, you know, my head's not in that place. It's a weird one.
It's a focus thing, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I
do. I'm a bit sort of. I'm not a spiritual guy, but very much into the idea that you have to get yourself into the right headspace to do things.
Yeah.
So I give myself a little bit of time before every show, where I'm just like not psyching myself up necessarily, but always just like, right, working my way into it. This is what's about to happen. Here's how we're gonna do it, and here's what I want to like. Here's what I want it to look like. You know what I mean? Here's what I want to project onto the audience and hope that they send back. Yeah. Do you have any sort of like pre-gig rituals or anything?
I do. In fact, like my friends will tell you that 90% of the time, like I don't even dress like this. Like people go, "Oh my god!" Like, you know, I put on a specific like checkered shirt, and for me, that's like going, here we are, Seeking Benjamin's in now, and it's great, you know, like you kind of do it. It's the outfits, you know, like even tonight, like, you know, yes, this is sometimes my gear and whatever else. Like my friends will go, "Oh my great, it's emo Ben's back," and it's like, yeah, that's fantastic. You know, but like in my day-to-day job, I wear jeans and a shirt and smart shoes and whatever else, and you know, I walk around and people, you know, wouldn't recognize me from like you step on the stage, you put your gear on, and you kind of go, I'm in, and it's like, it's, you know, it's like putting on a spacesuit and going, I'm ready, you know, I'm ready for launch, you know, let's go, and doing it. So you know, it's the same thing for me. You know, as soon as the outfit goes on, I'm in. So
I used to judge sort of the lead singer trope where they'd always have like these crazy wardrobes full of outfits in their like behind the scenes videos, and I was like, they're just knobheads. They're just like bought loads of fucking shit they didn't need. But now I'm starting to get it, which is worrying me a little bit. I'll be honest. I don't want to be like that. But it does make sense. You need that. I mean, I do have not a wardrobe full, unfortunately, but I do have like a few sets of gear that I'll only ever wear on stage. You won't see them anywhere else unless it's like in a band video or on stage. That's it. Yeah, I think that's necessary because, and I think also people forget it's costume. You are a theatre act. It's just to what level do you present yourself? And I remember when me and Aaron were starting to really get to know each other when he joined the band, we spoke a lot about this kind of idea that there's a lot of very personable bands who were sort of very self-aware and making jokes at themselves all the time. And we were like, right, that's what we're not going to do. Actually, we're going to do something weirder. We're gonna embody the songs. We're not even going to question what we do. So you know, it come to the point we were introducing Bedlam, for example, again. I'll be like, right, we're going to enter the asylum now. You're all coming with me. This is Bedlam, kind of thing. And it's unquestioningly what that is. That song is. And I think, yeah, I really enjoy that personally. I love a bit of theatre. I think Iron Maiden, as much as I don't really listen to their music, I think their theatre stadium is so entertaining.
I completely agree. You know, and I'm the same as you. You know, I listen to a few Iron Maiden songs. You know, Run to the Hills and stuff like that. And but actually, it is what you see on stage of them and the theatre production that goes behind it is the reason that people go to their shows because they want to be entertained, and that's why you go out, to be entertained. I'm waiting for the day that Callum's putting on his makeup and
we'll get him there. We'll get him there. We did for a while. We all had. I don't think actually Callum, we're the only one who wouldn't put on eyeliner. I think.
I hate it. I hate the feeling, like.
The feeling's not great.
And I hate that I can see it almost.
I think that might. Are you sure?
I
can't see it. I don't know.
You might be doing it wrong.
Yeah, there
maybe.
Might be.
Yeah, I've just put it on my eyes.
I had a colleague at work today ask if we'd ever thought about using like contact lenses with colours in it and stuff. I just hadn't even thought about it, but we could do that. I
Your
thought maybe
eyes
I'd
would
do
dry
it for,
out.
like,
Sorry, I draw the line there, buddy.
No, well, I wear contact lenses anyway because I'm blind as fuck.
No, I'm not putting anything in my eyes.
Aaron is
eye things. People freak out over eyes. They're like, "Oh, I've never put anything in my eyes."
Yeah, nope.
Put your eyelids over
no,
your eyes.
No.
Every
If there's ever like
they're supposed to be.
if there's ever like a horror film and it's got something to do with like needles in eyes, that's I can't do that. That's the worst thing in a horror film for me. Like people get their heads chopped off, fine, doesn't matter. But needles and stuff in the eyes, no.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Kryptonite, that one.
Man, that sucks.
That's horrid.
I speak to so many people who like get glasses and they're like, "Oh, but I could never put contact lenses." I was like, after like a week, you'll never want to wear your glasses again. I promise. You'll be like, "This is fine. This is it." Look, Callum, you ready?
No, don't do it. No.
Sorry, viewers.
Horrid.
So I've got one more for you, but before that, let's just quickly catch up on comments. So we've had Marie say, "You're amazing. Honestly, stick at it. Would love to see you again." That's directed at you there, Ben. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, I think everyone who saw you on Friday, who's watching now, would probably agree with that. And so they should, man. I love your voice. I fangirled over that. We all stood at the table. I was like, "My God, his voice was it's beautiful, man. Keep it up." And Hannah says, "Emo Ben." All caps.
Yes.
How emo was emo Ben?
That's kind of
right. I'll do it. How emo? Can't I type? Hello. There we go.
Yeah, now we're back to the blundery years.
I look forward to finding that one up.
Discharged years, by the sounds of it.
I'll keep an eye on that. But before we sign off, what projects can you disclose to us? Obviously, we've talked a bit about the Christmas single. You've been recording some stuff. What have you got coming up? What releases do people need to keep an eye out for? And where can they find you?
Okay, so we have got the Christmas single coming out 18th of November, which will be available on Spotify. It will be available on iTunes and all the major labels. However, to raise money for charity, and those of you guys listening, you can buy it on Bandcamp, download it on Bandcamp, and the money will go straight to a charity called Cots for Tots and the Wallace and Gromit Appeal, which is the charity based in Bristol. My son spent 4 months there in the intensive care unit when he was born, and it's money to give back to them. So I'd really appreciate your support there. Then you've got the EP. The EP is coming out in March. However, in January there will be a single coming out, and we haven't decided which one it's going to be. We're gonna take a pick. I think the stuff's going off for mastering next week, and I've got a feeling I know which one my producer would choose. So there will be a single in January as well. So there's that to keep out for. You can check out my socials on Spotify. Check out the website, YouTube, Instagram. Instagram would be great. I have not got a lot of followers on Instagram. I don't know if it's just because I'm an older musician or whatever, but Instagram, if you guys, anybody watching, just give me a follow on Instagram and then go, "I watched it with Regional 1 and you tonight," and then I'll send you something, like a badge or whatever. So there's a nice little initiative to get some followers.
There you go.
So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Yeah.
Where can we see you next? Have you got any gigs coming up in the very
Yeah, I
soon, or-
have. I have. I'll check the events page. I think the next one is actually a Christmas light switch on in Gillingham, but there are a couple more. And your good friend David Chinnery
Yes, Chinners.
Chinners. He's helping me out at the moment, so I think he's going to look out and get me some places down here in Bournemouth to play, which would be great because obviously now I'm into this area. It's going to be a good thing to gig down here. So keep watching this space, and I'll let you guys know. So
Fantastic. And for people watching, I've typed up a little bit of that. The bottom comment should have some details in there. Upcoming single coming January 2023. 18th of November is the next date to watch, so keep an eye out for that. The charity single is coming out from Seeking Benjamin. If you can, please show your support on Bandcamp. Be raising some money for charity there. And keep an eye on those socials for upcoming shows. Specifically, go and quote Regional One live stream over on Ben's Instagram.
that's right.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on, man. It's
thank
been a
you.
pleasure.
I loved it. It was great.
I have no doubt in my mind we're going to see you around pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know when we get something going.
Yeah, that'd be great. Can't wait to see. I might even pop out and see you guys when you guys are playing in Yeovil. So
Oh,
if
legend.
anyone else that's watching, me because of Seeking Benjamin, go and see these guys at Regional One in
Legend.
Yeovil. What's the date, boys?
So we've got the 12th of November, Kennet Fest in Yeovil with a few of our previous guests. We've got Grove Warden are playing alongside us on that show, I believe. So please do come along for an absolute wild one. That's at the Yeovil Conservative Club, which is a pretty unusual venue, but is really good.
Yeah.
And the beer is cheap.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't sell it to you. Following that, though, we have got a few shows coming up in Bournemouth. So get in touch with us for, I think we've only got 8 tickets left for the Nick Oliveri headliner down in Bournemouth at the Anvil on the 23rd of November. Get in touch with us. We've got 8 tickets left for that one. And then a few days later on, I believe the 26th of November, that's the Saturday, isn't it? Saturday, the 26th is Rock Beats Cancer down at the Bear Cave. Now, I want to see as many familiar faces and a bunch of new faces there if possible. Drallion are on the headliner. We'll be on main support. Perdizian are playing, and we've managed to secure Tom Peppard for the opening.
The only.
And honestly, that's the treat for us. We've spoken to Tom quite a few times, and we've heard a lot about his live performance. And the guy's, he's like the right level of fun and crazy, and I cannot wait to see what he does live at the Bear Cave, because that venue, I think, is going to suit him so well. So yeah, that's us.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back. When are we next back, guys? Who we got next? Let me see.
Can't remember.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking. Hold on. There we go. Right. So next week is the 8th. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to do something Kennet Fest related if we can. Next Tuesday, keep an eye out. The following Tuesday on the 15th, we're off to see Biffy Clyro and Architects. So we'll be actually live streaming hopefully on the Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And then following that, we've got a very special live stream on the Monday, the 21st, with Marie-Kate Taylor, the organizer of Rock Beats Cancer. And we're hoping to secure a few members of Drallion to hop on that one as well. That's going to be crazy. So please do come along to that. Do give us a watch. Thank you very much for watching today. Don't forget to share us to all your friends. Come along to some shows. Support live music, whether it's us or someone else. Go and check out some local bands. They're going to rock your world anyway. So thank you very much for watching. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.